I just finished writing a lesson for the focus room. It's the beginning of the cool off week, and in the beginning of all the weeks, I like to post a lesson for the focus of the week. Every time I try to introduce a fresh perspective on what we are doing, because it's not about doing new things, it's about mastering the sprints, mastering this rhythm, and also understanding it on a deeper level with each sprint that goes by. And so the cool off week, this time around, I've decided to look at it from the agricultural viewpoint. At some point, I've gone through this rabbit hole of researching how to grow your food, researching industrial practices and how harmful it is to the soil. I still feel that soil depletion is the most silent, undercover disaster that is waiting to happen. Basically, the soil health is getting depleted year after year after year, and in 50 years from now, I don't think that we'll have any good soil left. And it's not clear how we're going to grow our food, but this panic aside, I got really interested in learning about soil and what keeps healthy soil. The first rule is that you have to rotate the crops. So you can't grow corn year after year after year after year, because corn or any other crop, choose one crop, it uses a certain number of nutrients from the soil. And if you just do it on repeat, then these nutrients are completely deprived from soil. You might have some other left. But when you do rotation, each crop takes different nutrients from the soil. It gives back some nutrients, and it keeps it healthy. But also what's really important is to let your fields rest. I don't remember the term. I think it's like cyclical agriculture or circular agriculture. It's basically when you do rotational crops, and then on, like, I don't remember, is it the 5th year or the 4th year? So every 4 or 5 years, don't quote me on that, I don't remember the exact number, but after a certain period, you let your soil, your field, rest completely. And that's the perfect model for growing food without depleting soil. You do crop rotation, plus you let your fields rest. I really like the show on Amazon Prime, The Clarkson Farm. And the last season, I just had time to watch the first episode, but I think in the UK, they've introduced this concept on the government level, is that the government will pay you money if you let your fields rest. If you just do the cover crop so it's not drying out, and you let it rest, then the government pays you money. Because I think the government is finally realizing, at least in the UK and maybe some other countries, that it's actually a huge disaster waiting to happen. No one is talking about it. The soil health. Anyway, it's not a podcast about the environment and agriculture. The cool off week is the week where we let our fields rest. And that's so important, because if we just continue doing things all the time, like, the productivity drops, we are getting more exhausted, and it's just our focus is being lost, and we need to rest on a regular basis. Otherwise, I always tell, if we don't rest, life will make us rest. Through sickness, through some accidents, through something, we will be forced to rest. So I'd rather be proactive and take these breaks on a regular basis on a predictable schedule so I can plan around it, than having this major disaster happen where I have to abandon everything and just rest. So yeah, I'm a control freak, so I'd rather do it on my own terms. I always like to explain the cool off week from different angles, and I think this agricultural angle is quite useful to look at. And I hope that it will motivate you to schedule in some regular breaks. And again, I always say a cool off week, it doesn't mean that we go on the Mojito Island every fourth week. We still have to show up for our jobs, for our clients. We still need to answer emails, send quotes. If you're a business owner, you still have to do the meetings. But the cool off week is where we don't do anything net new, where we are not launching things, where we are not brainstorming things, where we are not optimizing, improving, changing anything. It's a status quo. We keep it at the maintenance level. Our clients get served, our emails get answered, at least the important ones, maintenance level. So we do the bare minimum for the whole thing to stay solid and not collapse. But we have this extra mental space, extra time to just rest, take it easy, do spontaneous things, go for longer walks, not be so time pressured to finish everything by a certain time. So a lot more margin in our day. It's this ease of being that we want to have in this cool off week. Kind of like we are in half vacation mode without going on vacation. Just be a B minus employee in your own business. Nothing will collapse, I promise you. Your B minus is probably a solid B in reality. So yeah, agriculture fields need resting to keep producing good crops. We need resting to keep producing good work. Just make sure it's scheduled. Just make sure it happens on your own terms. Otherwise, I'm sure you've seen a lot of examples in your own life, in the people that you know, of what happens when you don't do that. Okay, have a good day, everyone. I'm just gonna go and enjoy the rest of the cool off week. Bye.